Russo. I'm the program director and professor of practice in Tulane University's Information Technology Programs Department. That's me on the top. With me today is Senior Academic Advisor Brittany Yandel, who you'll meet later on in the presentation. And my Associate Director, Dr. Riles, will not be here today. Hopefully I can get you folks through and answer any questions you have. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's bring the lens way back to the 10,000 foot level. And why do you care about this slide? Well, the entire university, Tulane University, is the top 50 US university. And if you don't know that, and the entire university was formed as kind of a professional advancement school. It was founded as a medical college so that working people in the community could get together and share best practice and learning. So when we say we're not new to educating working people, career changers, lifelong learners, and traditional students, we're definitely not new to it. In fact, it became formalized in 1886 when our particular school within the university began offering classes. So we're not Johnny-come-latelys. We know what it is to be at different stages of your life and going for an education. And we've constructed ourselves in a way to allow you to get that education that's acknowledged and informed by your life. And so I think that's important. So next. So why us? Well, that was a pretty good reason right there. But as we move through our presentation today, we're going to find out a lot about what we do specifically. But generally speaking, you should know that we're not a school that just threw ourselves out there online yesterday. We have a very deep commitment to our academic programs, including online learning. And so you're going to find out about what that commitment is. Our programs and faculty, you're going to find out why it's important that you know who they are and what we're bringing to it. Our student support group is top notch. And again, you'll hear from our Senior Academic Advisor, Ms. Yandel, in a few minutes. And it's affordable, surprisingly affordable, and we are flexible. Again, we built ourselves for that flexibility over the last 150 years or so. So and it's Tulane University, again, a top 50 US university. So, and by the way, everybody, every student at Tulane is a Tulane student, whether you're in the law school or the medical school or a traditional student or a school of professional advancement student. Everybody's a full Tulane student, and we can talk more about what that means in a minute. So next. So online learning at SoPA, what is that? Why is that a big deal, online learning? Well, online learning is, you have to build yourself to bring quality online learning, and you have to be built in that way, and we've done that. Every single course that we offer online, all right, has been built over a semester by a subject matter expert, working with a PhD instructional designer and assisted by a graphics team. That means that you're not just getting something that used to be a classroom experience thrown online. You're getting everything that's in the classroom in a way that is made for online consumption, including all the best practice. And that's why we've got the subject matter expert coupled with the instructional designer. Our learning management system, which is Canvas, is fully built out. We have integrations with things like our labs and our partners that allow you to bring everything into your learning management system. It's right there: lecture notes, learning materials, assignments, simulations from our graphics team, online discussion boards, and the ability to connect with your classmates. That's a critical part right there. So in a minute, I'm going to be talking about the different types of online experiences. And when I do, you're going to find out how we pay attention to networking with each other, networking with the faculty member. Those are important. So let's go next. Yeah, so you see quality, just take that in for a second, 13,600 students and that many hours, depth and quality, multiple awards for our programs. But what I wanted to say here is, so we offer two different types of online experiences. And it's important to know this because one type might be what works for you or what you prefer, right? So one type of online experience is what we call synchronous online learning. Synchronous online learning means that your class meets once a week at the same time on the same day via Zoom, just like this, and you'll have a class session where the instructor will lecture. You'll break you up into working teams. He'll share a screen and go through the learning, the content for that particular lesson. So that's important. Some people only learn or learn best when they have a weekly meeting, and you can do that for many. We've got students in South America and Australia and other places in the Middle East, and so you'll be able to show up every week, and your class will be there. You'll turn your camera on, and you'll interact with you, ask questions, so on and so forth. We also offer classes that are what we call asynchronous. They don't meet weekly. The materials all in the learning management system. However, all of our classes, including the ones that don't meet weekly, meet at least once a month. And it's not required for student, but it's recommended. But we have an online meeting set up even in the asynchronous sessions where you can get together with all the other students, discuss issues, meet with the professor, ask questions, go through a problem set. For example, your assignment was to write code last week. Let's go through and see what you should have done in that to get a correct answer on that assignment. So we offer both of those type learning experiences at both the undergraduate and the graduate level. And we're going to talk more about specifically those programs in a couple of minutes. But you should know that if you work crazy hours and your schedule rotates, you might be right for asynchronous learning. Well, we've got that for you. If you work generally days or any other type of situation that would make you available once a week, and you like that type of learning, those courses are also available. So I think that's important to notice before you sign up anywhere, actually. So next. So let's start with our bachelor's program. You have a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. That Bachelor of Science in IT, you're able to have one of four concentrations. You could have a Bachelor of Science in IT with an application development concentration, which is coding. You'll learn Python, you'll learn C++, you'll learn Java, JavaScript. You could also concentrate, if you want, in product and program support. What is product and program support? Well, not everybody is plugging in cables or setting up operating systems or configuring firewalls or writing code. A lot of the IT industry are people who manage, govern, track, and give guidance to the technical people. They're very important. They provide repeatable success and best practice. Well, things like Scrum Masters, things like DevOps workers, things like product owners, product managers, things like project managers, things like business analysts or requirements engineers. Those are all product and program support folks. And that goes way up to the CIO is a governance structure, right? That title. So product and program support is a concentration. Third concentration is enterprise systems and clouds. That's the traditional sysadmin, network engineer, also cloud specialists, and all the different roles that have to do with maintaining systems, whether they're on premise or in the cloud. And so operating systems, networking, working with cyber teams, even though that's not a cybersecurity concentration, you'll learn a heck of a lot about constructing and designing infrastructure and systems. And the fourth concentration is cybersecurity. very much in demand, as are the rest of those, by the way. While the job market is cool, or is cooling in some areas, especially at the top levels, IT is still on fire. And there's still a lot of jobs out there for IT. So the fourth concentration is cybersecurity, where you'll learn how to create and design systems that, or security for systems and security postures for systems that make your company or your business or your enterprise safer and secure. Confidentiality, availability, and what am I missing? Integrity of systems, right? So you'll learn those things in our cybersecurity program. Everything from the governance and structure of cybersecurity to the technical aspect. Standing up a firewall, SIEMs, audit logs, pen testing, so on and so forth. So those are the four concentrations, but you don't have to concentrate. You could just get a Bachelor of Science in IT and kind of build your own experience. You don't have to have a concentration. They're available, but you could just get a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology without a concentration. If you don't know what you want to do yet, or if you want to kind of build your own program to match what you're currently doing at work, that's all available. And then the last thing here that I'll talk about is, from the Bachelor of Science perspective, is the ability to join our 4+1 program, or our accelerated master's program. That basically, the 4+1 says when you get to be a junior or a senior in the Bachelor of Science track, you'll have the ability to sign up for graduate courses and have them count both as graduate courses. They'll also count at the same time towards your undergraduate degree, which saves you a bunch of money off your graduate experience. And then all of your graduate courses taken within the first 2 years of signing up or have a 20% discount. So if the goal is to get the Bachelor of Science and then into the Master of Science, by joining up with this great 4+1 program, you'll save literally $15,000 if you do it right. And we're here to help you do that, Brittany and I. So that's our Bachelor of Science degree. Let's move on to our master's programs. We offer 2 master's degrees. One is a Master of Science in IT Management, and the other is a Master of Science in Cybersecurity Management. What you see on the slide underneath each of them are graduate concentrations. So you can get a Master of Science in IT Management with a concentration in cybersecurity, or you can get a Master of Science in Cybersecurity with a concentration in emergency operations. You don't have to pick a concentration. Most folks don't have a concentration, but they're there if you want them. The Master of Science in IT Management is 30 credits or 10 courses. The Master of Science in Cybersecurity Management is 33 credits or 11 courses. The way we structured those, what we brought to it is we look at them from 3 angles. The work you'll do in those programs comes from 3 angles. I call it the 3 legs of the stool, which provides something solid to sit on, right? The first thing is we'll come at them from a technical angle. Both the master's degrees and the Bachelor of Science, I have over 400 plus labs. I know that one of the slides says 250. I've recently upped the game there. We have over 400 plus labs that are available to our courses, which are technical in nature. Defeat a firewall, stand up a firewall, do some penetration testing, navigate an operating system. There are 400 plus. They're not all cybersecurity. Many of them are traditional sysadmin operating system configuration type labs, but 400 plus available. So we're definitely technical, and especially at the undergraduate level, we go in hard for that, but it's also there at the graduate level. However, we are also a lot of governance. This is Tulane University, right? We know that our students are going to go on to become leaders in the industry. That's something we know. And so in both the undergraduate and at the graduate level, and especially at the graduate level, we concentrate on governance. How do you manage? How do you configure? How do you run? How do you manage risk? What is IT service management? And we're going to hear a little bit later on, I'm going to talk to you about our partnerships, which is going to allow you to get a lot of benefit and industry-ready certifications while getting your academic degree, right? That's two. We've got technical and governance. And the third thing is leadership. How do you communicate with your peers? How do you communicate with employees? How do you communicate with management? How do you communicate with the C-suite? Everything we do has this communication factor built in. In fact, once a semester, I offer a voluntary professional development. I bring in an expert to talk about things that don't usually get spoken about in academic courses. For example, we brought in somebody who talks about how to wow somebody during an interview to get a cybersecurity job. We brought in a PhD expert on emotional intelligence to talk to you about how to communicate in an emotionally intelligent way with the people you work with or who work for you or who you work for. We brought in experts to talk about email. What's a good email look like? What's not a good email? What's emails that are going to get you noticed in a good way as opposed to emails that get you noticed in a bad way? And believe me, these are real things. So we don't just stop at the classroom. If you want to go further, and you'll hear more about this as I go along, we've got the ability for you to voluntarily jump in and get all this additional learning knowledge from our experts. And when I get to our faculty, I'll talk about that as well. So next slide. So in addition to our Bachelor of Science degrees and our Master of Science degrees, we've got graduate certificates, and there are 6 of them, and each one allows you to concentrate in an area and get a separate certificate from the university by virtue of taking courses. Now, the great part about this is the courses that you take to get these certificates stack into the master's degree. That means if you do your planning correctly, and you've got a great academic advisor right there, if you do your planning correctly, you could actually earn, for example, you could be an IT management Master of Science student, but at the same time, get a cyber defense certificate. So when you go to get a job, you've got a Master of Science degree from Tulane University, and you've got a graduate certificate in cyber defense or cyber leadership. So that's kind of really important. We've also got that data science and cloud. So as you see, cyber defense is going to be a technical cyber one. Cyber leadership is going to be a governance one. IT strategic planning is going to be a governance IT one. Technology architecture is going to be more of a technical one. Then we got a nice data science and cloud. That's going to give you that additional learning if you want, or if you're just here to take those certificates without going for the master's degree. And then the last one, which I'll talk about in a minute, is cyber tech fundamentals. But every one of those certs, except for cyber tech fundamentals, the courses you take to earn them stack into a master's. So if you're just here to get a graduate cert, know that after you finish, you get your graduate cert, you can turn around, come back, and apply those credits towards your master's degree at Tulane University. So let's move on from there. So this is that 6th graduate certificate that I said is a little different, and this is a great one. Say, for example, you've got your bachelor's degree in English or in, you name it, some type of engineering or math or whatever, and you've decided technology is the way for you, so you want to get a master's degree in an IT discipline, but you don't have any background and you haven't worked in IT. So how do you do that? This is how you do it. This is what I call a bridge certificate. These courses don't count towards your master's degree, but what they allow you to do is, if you've got a bachelor's degree, even if you have no technology background, you take the 6 courses, you get this graduate certificate. And as long as you've got a 3.0 GPA or better, I'll admit you into one of our Master of Science programs. So these 6 courses are built to get you fully up to speed and ready for a master's program. And so at Tulane University. So you'll learn basics on IT fundamentals, app dev, networks, cybersecurity, enterprise systems, cloud. You'll get all that information, basic foundational information in these classes. And that'll allow us, if you get a 3.0 GPA or better, that'll allow us to give you admission into one of our master's programs. So even if you don't have the IT experience or the undergraduate degree, no problem. So moving on. So the Tulane SoPA difference, right? Why are we different? Let's listen. If you throw a rock up in the air, it's going to land on an IT program somewhere, right? But well, so why here? Why come to us? What do we do differently? So you've heard about some differences already. We've been doing this for a long time. Online is not new to us. We've structured ourselves to build. And by the way, I'm going to get to all of these questions in the chat as soon as we finish the presentation. Zoe, we're going to answer your question and everyone else's question. So why then us? Well, we've got those 400 plus labs that you can take from anywhere. We've also got a virtual desktop for every one of our students, meaning that if you're a laptop, as long as it can run our virtual desktop software, which if it's a relatively recent system, it will, you're going to have a pristine system to work on your labs. Labs are all online, and not only are they online, you can access them from our virtual desktop. So you won't be encountering a lot of, conflicts and crashes when you're trying to get to our labs or to our Canvas. We give you a perfectly clean VDI with all the software you need to get to our program. So there's not some kind of fire drill when it's time to do a lab. It's all there for you. So we've got these VDIs and these 400 plus labs. We've also got all these other cool things. We've got every semester, if you're in the New Orleans area, if you want to come to the New Orleans area, we do a in-person technology challenge, like a cybersecurity challenge or a robotic process automation challenge or a networking challenge. And we give out prizes, and we partner with businesses who come onto the campus. Not only do they give out the prizes with me, they're there to hire people. I've got my own jobs program. At least once or twice a week, my contacts in industry contact me and they say, hey, Ralph, we've got jobs. See if your students are interested. So your jobs come right to your cell phone or to your desktop, right through your email. You get them from me, and the jobs pour in, and you look them over and see what you want to apply for. So we don't forget that your goal is to get a different job, better job, or even if you're not looking for a new job, you at least learn what's out there going on, right? So while we're talking about contacts in the IT industry, you should check out our industry advisory board on our website. We've got people that advise me because we are Tulane University. We've got Microsoft, Google, we've got DXC, we've got, you name a large company. There are C-level people in those companies who meet with me 3 times a year, and they give me feedback on the courses I offer, the degrees I offer, and the programs I have. Why do I want that feedback? Because I want the programs I build to get you great jobs and get you success in industry, government, or nonprofits, wherever you want to go in IT. I'm making sure that the education you get is tuned with industry. And I do that by virtue of my industry board, which again, we've got cybersecurity law firms on the board. We've got government workers. We've got three ex-CIOs of the city of New Orleans. I got the ex-CIO of the Department of Defense. I got the ex-CIO of the state of California. I've got IBM, you name them. They're all on my industry board, and they're all giving me input as to, so that's a difference, right? We have the best of the best telling us what to put in our courses and what kind of degrees to offer to you so that you get the best experience for your time and effort and money in some cases. So no GREs required. We've got some other stuff. We've got a Women in Technology mentorship program. You don't have to join it. It's a voluntary thing. But what it is, we have women in industry, again, huge companies, Microsoft, JP Morgan, so on and so forth, General Dynamics. We have female leadership, executive leadership, who have volunteered to mentor our students, not homework help, not help with the university, help with navigating a career in the IT industry. We realize that sometimes there's a little bit of a challenge, and studies have shown that females have a difficult time cracking an old culture, which really should be changed and maybe is changing. But in the meantime, we've got a women technology mentorship program to help you folks get acclimated to the industry. So that's pretty cool, right? And we've got all of these things going on in addition to your studies, if you're interested in connecting up with these things to get you ready for industry, to make you a success in industry. And we're very focused on that. Now, we're also solidly academic. We haven't forgotten it's Tulane. We were recently evaluated by ABET, which if you do ABET, which if you do some Googling on that, you'll find out ABET is the top certification for technology and engineering schools. And they recently evaluated us and gave us the top scores available. So we are solidly academic there as well. So with that, let's, and again, affordable. Some people hear Tulane and they think, it's going to be so super expensive, I'll never do it. But the reality is different. There's even a tuition calculator on our website if you want it. So next slide. Faculty. Everything I said so far doesn't mean anything if we don't have the right people teaching you. So who are the right people, right? So all of our faculty have high-level academic degrees, including terminal degrees, PhDs, and in different areas. But in addition to have these academic credentials to teach you, these people are highly certified in industry. And I'm going to talk in a second about certifications because I think that's important. But these people are highly certified. And lastly, they are all currently working in the information technology field. It is not unusual for a student to send me a note that says, hey, Professor D'Alessandro talked about X during class last night, and today at work, I was able to speak in a meeting using what we talked about in class last night. And it happens over and over. I get told this, but I never get enough of it. It is my top thing to hear. I love to hear we had a great time in the program. I learned a lot. I got a better job. Those are all great things. But when I hear something in the classroom I was able to put to use in an interview or at my job, it just explains to me why I'm in academia making a lot less money than I used to. So it tells me why I do this. And so and by the way, our faculty's on the website. Go to the sopa.tulane.edu/IT, and all the links are on that page. Our faculty is amazing, and they are committed to helping you learn. They know what it's like to work and do the extra work. We used to call it the second eight when I was in industry, right? It was the dreaded second eight. Well, when you go into school at night, it's a different kind of second eight, right? And these professors all know. So there's a little snippet of them. Now I want to talk about certifications for a second. And it's important because it plays into our faculty. We have partnerships with Amazon Web Services for cloud certs. We have partnerships with ServiceNow for their ServiceNow, by the way, if you Google it, IT service management used at a lot of the top Fortune 500 companies to help with manage their IT services. We have partnerships with CompTIA. We offer Security Plus, Network Plus, Project Plus, Cloud Plus, and I'm forgetting others, right? We have partnerships with Certified Ethical Hacking. Why do you care about these partnerships? Because every semester I offer these courses, and they not only count towards your academic degree while you're planning with Brittany Yandel or with any of the other academic advisors, Dan Ray, for example. These courses, if you structure it right, will count towards your degree, but you'll have the opportunity at the end of the semester, you get a voucher and you have the opportunity to take the professional certification. So when you leave Tulane, I have a student that just graduated last month, and he left with a master's in information technology management, and he had 2 or 3 industry certs, and he had one of our academic certs. His resume was killer just from having and he didn't take additional courses. He didn't spend extra money. He just worked with our advisors and with me to make sure that he structured the classes that he was taking to get the most out of it. And those certifications, there's a little higher lab fee in those courses, but they generally run at about a 70% discount from what you get out there in the world, right? Because of our partnerships. And I know I'm forgetting other partners: Certified Ethical Hacking, CompTIA, ServiceNow, AWS. I know there's other ones. Right now, I'm working on getting an MOU with the folks who give ITIL certifications. So for some of you that's meaningful. ITIL is everywhere now with DevOps and Agile Scrum. And so in the next 6 months or so, I should be offering courses with an ITIL cert. So you'll be able to get professional certs. Why? Because students send me emails and they said, hey, if I get a Bachelor of Science from Tulane, is that enough to get a job? Or if I have a master's degree, a Master of Science from Tulane, is that enough to get a job? And these are impossible questions to answer, right? And we're going to talk about them in an upcoming slide, because the answer is yes. But when I used to hire people, which I did for many years, I wanted to see a program like Tulane that says you have foundational knowledge and you could survive changes in technology in the industry, right? I want to see that when I'm hiring you. But it's also great to see professional certs, right? It's also great to get recommendations from faculty members who are in industry or mentors, right? As far as I'm concerned, when I was looking through resumes, the more I saw, the better. It's a less risk for me. I'm trying to hire a cybersecurity analyst, and I see somebody with a Security Plus, a Certified Ethical Hacking, and a Bachelor of Science from Tulane with a concentration in cybersecurity. Sign me up. Where do I hire him or her, right? How do I do it? And so that's why we do those things. So faculty and certifications, huge part of this. I don't want to short shrift them. So next up. Career options, the impossible slide. These slides can be a 500-page deck by themselves. I give you 500 slides on potential career options in IT, because every company calls them something different. Every company has different roles, is structured differently. There are different methodologies in play. There's, for example, application development. There's people using waterfall still. There's Agile Scrum. There's some kind of hybrid. So we threw some stuff up there to get you ideas of jobs, but that list could easily have 500 things on it, because we are teaching you all the Bachelor of Science especially, but even at the master's level, we're teaching you, for example, and I should mention this, both our undergraduate degrees with concentrations and our master's programs have capstone projects. If it's not enough to leave us with the top 50 university degree, ABIT certified, industry board, if that's not enough, you've got these professional certs. But the last thing is you've got a capstone project. And very often the Capstone project has you working for a real world business. You and your team of other students who are about to graduate, you finished all your courses, now you're taking your Capstone project. You folks are solving a real world business problem. And if it's not for a private company or a nonprofit, or sometimes we'll do it for a Tulane, real world Tulane group, or we'll do it for our own. We have a faux company, a fake company called South Balance. If you go to southbalance.com, it's got a real infrastructure. There's real servers and firewalls. And the problem with South Balance is they have a lot of problems which you have to solve. So when you're learning stuff, it's not just a theory that's floating around in the ether. South Balance is a company that exists, and they're going to have a problem. For example, they're opening a warehouse in Spain, and now they got GDPR. If you don't know what GDPR is, do a quick Google. GDPR is you got to comply with European regulations. So what do? Well, at the graduate level, you'll be taking cyber law and policy, and at the undergraduate level, you'll be getting this knowledge as well. So in your Capstone project, you're going to solve real world problems that force you to use all of your knowledge, all of your program learning objectives from the whole program. You have to bring them to bear on the Capstone project, and you usually work in a team. A lot of fun. You can't leave this university and say we didn't give you a real world shot, because we do. 400 plus labs, Capstone projects, professional certs, our fake company that you do assignments against. We're going to give you the knowledge, the academic knowledge, and then you're going to apply it in a real world type situation, or in an actual real world company when it comes to Capstone. And when you leave us, you're going to have that Capstone project under your arm that says, when you're in your interview, it says, well, we're standing up, we're looking for a group, we're standing up a new cybersecurity thing, and we need analysts. And you're going to say, well, here's an analysis I did for my Capstone project. You drop that baby on the desk and you say, here's the analysis I did on a Capstone project where this company had all these problems, and here's the recommendations we made. And they're going to say, wow. So that's the goal, right? And so there's that. So go to the next slide, please. More potential career options. Our Master of Science is really fine-tuning you to be a leader in these areas. And from a legal aspect, from a governance aspect, from a policy aspect, from a training aspect, from a best practice aspect, without forgetting that there's technology involved here. So you'll be in there looking at technology as well. So it's not tech free at this level, but you're a Tulane student. We expect you to go out there and become a manager if that's what you want, a leader. And so these degrees will not only give you the ability to work as a great worker technically and programmatically, but they'll also get you ready. And I have people say to me sometimes, hey, I could write code, or I know cybersecurity. I've been in my basement, working on systems for the last 30 years. What do I need a degree for? And the answer is simple. Why can't I just have job experience? And the answer is job experience is great. I'm never going to talk down job experience, but if you're a 25-year-old developer or a systems analyst and you love your work, more power to you. Why change if you love your work? But do you want to be a 50-year-old app dev and taking orders from a 25-year-old manager? I mean, maybe not, right? Or when technology changes, since you're turning the nerd knobs, as we call them, you're turning the nerd knobs on today's technology. But when that technology changes, if you don't understand the foundational stuff, the process, the governance, and the underlying foundational technology, then when it changes, guess who's left behind? And so academic learning is important, just like professional development is important, just like industry experience is important. That's why we have a jobs program. That's why we have capstones. That's why we have partnerships. but that's why we have a solidly top 50 university academic experience. So next slide. And Britt, I think I'm going to turn this over to you right here. Thank you. Thanks for your attention, everybody. I'll answer questions when Britt's done.
Ralph. So we have a program here at SoPA that is called Credit for Prior Learning. So we have a lot of students that come to SoPA either for their undergraduate degree or their graduate degree that have background in the degree that they're coming to get. So if you've been working in IT or cybersecurity for 10 plus years, you think that there's some courses that you might not need to take because you have industry experience there. Credit for prior learning can come into play then. So you can take part in credit for prior learning for either a bachelor's or a master's degree. It can be awarded for learning outside of the classroom. And so that includes work experience, community service, and military training. Undergraduate students can receive up to 24 credits and graduate students can receive up to 6 credits. And that's through portfolio assessment or examination or military training. So just a little background on how this works is if you're looking at your degree plan and you say that there's an IT project management course that you are a master of IT project management, that would be an opportunity for you to build a portfolio for that course that would then give you credit for that course. So a lot of interesting ways to take in your industry experience into your academic world. Student support and success. So that is where your academic advisor comes into play. So at SoPA, you have a dedicated academic advisor for whatever program you are currently enrolled in. You also have expert faculty, like Ralph talked about, that have industry experience. So really great connections, and they're there to help talk you through not only just the course material, but any general questions that you might have in the industry, or maybe you're looking into a new career. So definitely take advantage of your faculty connections. We also have a network of program peers and Tulane alumni. So when you graduate, you are automatically placed into our Tulane alumni network, which is huge and can help connect you with various jobs or companies or specific people across the country. We also have a dedicated career advisor at SoPA. Her name is Miss Cynthia Washington, and she will take you through all aspects of careers. So if you need your resume looked at, if you need help building a cover letter, if you want to do mock interviews, if you have an interview coming up, if you're not even really sure where to start looking for jobs, she is a great resource and she loves meeting with students. So definitely take advantage of that. Affordability. So tuition. Keep note that tuition is by credit hours. So for undergraduate, it's $596 per credit. For graduate, it's $1,158 per credit. Each course is a 3 credit. All the courses are 3 credits. So you would multiply that number by 3 to get the total cost of the tuition for a particular course. Now, SoPA does have financial aid available. Tulane also in general has financial aid opportunities. You will be assigned a specific financial aid counselor through that office once you're an active student. And you can talk to them about how to fill out the FAFSA, how to get any scholarship opportunities that might maybe aren't offered through SoPA. And then through SoPA, we have a couple of different ways to help with the financial side of this. So we have a 20% discount, and that's for active duty military and veterans, active and retired public safety personnel, students who graduated from a minority serving institution, and students who are in the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. We also have the Yellow Ribbon Program, and Tulane accepts both federal grants and federal loans. Applying is really simple. It is usually a $40 or $50 application fee, but for everyone here on the call, that fee will be waived. So there's really no reason to go ahead and just get the application in and see what comes of it. So you will need to have a clear image of your government ID ready to upload, and then transcripts. Those do need to be sent officially from the institution that you're getting them from to SoPA. So we can put the address in the chat on where those transcripts should go. digital is the best way. You order it online, send it via PDF, and it gets to us officially within a couple of days. So application requirements. So for the graduate application, you do need a BA or a BS degree with a major in mathematics, computer information systems, computer science, information sciences, engineering, or statistics, or a BA without computing major or significant computing coursework, but 3 to 5 years of professional experience. So if you have a BA in I don't know, maybe biology, but for whatever reason you've been working in IT or cybersecurity for the last 3 to 5 years, that could be taken into account for when you apply. Grade point average, you need at least a 3.0 on a 4.0 scale. You also need to upload a resume or CV, and also note that there is no GRE required for the graduate application. Application deadlines. So these are really important to keep in mind for 2 reasons. You have your initial application deadline, which is when you need to have your application in order to be ready to start the next semester. But we also have what we call an early enrollment scholarship, which we offer through SoPA. So the early enrollment scholarship, you'll see the dates here listed on this page. But for undergraduate students, that's a $200 credit towards your first semester of tuition only. And then for graduate students, that's a $500 credit towards your first semester of tuition. So for summer, the deadline to get your application in is May 1st, and then that early enrollment scholarship would be April 25th. So you would have had to have been enrolled by April 25th in order to get that $200 or $500 credit. For spring, that deadline is January 1st as your initial application deadline, and then the early enrollment scholarship is December 1st. So again, that you would have to be admitted by January 1st and enrolled by December 1st. And then for fall, which is the next upcoming semester, so this is a big one to take notes on, the application deadline is August 1st, and the early enrollment scholarship is June 1st. So definitely keep in mind the application must be turned in by August 1st if you are looking to start classes in the fall. If you aren't looking to start until the spring, you've got until January 1st, and then you need to be registered by December 1st to get that credit. And any questions about that, please feel free to put it in the chat. All right. And I think Ralph was addressing some questions in the chat also.
Well, yeah, Zoe, did that answer your question?
Hello. It
Hello.
kind of did. So is for example, the enrollment. Well, this is a question I have about enrollment. If I wanted to start fall 2023, are these the same dates, or would I just wait till next year?
I believe these are the same dates. Anne or Ralph, if you guys know differently. But
Yes, the dates will stay the same.
Okay.
Year by year.
Thank you.
Okay, so good. Zoe, did that answer everything? Victor?
Oh, and as far as the certificates, I was asking, do we have a choice of which ones? Let's say I want to do like 4 out of 6 instead of all 6, or do we have to take all of them?
No, you pick the graduate certificate that you're interested in. And
Okay.
you wouldn't be able to take 6 and stack them all into the masters. There wouldn't be any room. But you could choose a certificate or 2 and stack them into the masters as you go through.
Okay, thank you.
Your choice. So, Victor, Victor's asking about scholarship opportunities for graduate courses.
Yeah, so I will put the link in the chat right now for the SoPA financial aid webpage. But once you are actually an admitted student to Tulane, you're assigned a financial aid counselor through Tulane, and they'll work with you to kind of navigate what federal or scholarship opportunities are available to you.
And let's see, waivers of application fees. I think you just stole the thunder. I think Brett, were you going to tell them something about application fees? Are we
So
going to waive those?
if you're on this call, your application fee is waived.
Yes, so everybody who is on this call, I'm marking your attendance, but you need to actually submit. Once you get to the point where you're submitting your application, then you will see that the fee is automatically waived. But if you do run into any issues, please reach out to us.
So that's great. You get your application for having to listen to me drone on and on. At least you get your application fee waived. So are there part-time, full-time options? Yes. No time limit. As long as you're continually going to school. No, there are part-time and full-time options to get your master's degree. Mark, I hope that answered you. Okay.
Yep. And one more thing to add in there for Mark as well, and for everyone on the call. In order to receive financial aid and any sort of federal aid, you do need to be enrolled in at least 6 credits per semester. So that's 2 courses. Now, if you're not using aid, then you can enroll in 1 course per semester and move at your own pace.
Thank you, Britt. That was
Do you
very
mind
helpful.
repeating? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you mind
Sure.
repeating how many full-time, how many credit hours? It started breaking up right when you said the amount.
Sure. So 6 credits. So that's 2 courses. In order to receive federal funding, you would need to be enrolled in at least 2 courses.
Thank you.
Great. If you do stackable certificate with the masters, is the capstone within the 6, so 7 credits? Are those the only courses? Reagan, I'm really not sure I'm following you there.
Oh, sorry. So like if you
Go
do
ahead.
the certificate and then the master's, because on the website it says 6 courses plus the certificate to get IT management and then 7 for the cybersecurity management. Is the capstone in that, or is it just like the core courses, or do the people with this stackable certificates do the capstone as well, is what I'm basically asking.
So I'll jump in. So it kind of depends on how you're starting off. So if you want to start in a graduate certificate or 2 graduate certificates that then stack into a master's, whenever it is time to get the master's, you do have to take the capstone. I'm not sure if that's answering your question or not. If you wanted to chime back in, make sure I was understanding.
Oh no, you got my question. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Let's see, we've got another question in the chat. Alphonse, I think I sent you the answer to that one. In terms of international students with visa and travel, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that question, Victor. Give him. You there, Victor?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. It's 6:53 p.m. So I'll say good evening to everyone. I want to ask concerning visa applications and assistantship from the Tulane University. So it's almost fall time. I mean, it's almost August already, and then it's kind of difficult to secure visa dates now, considering the fact that I do not have an admission yet with your university. I applied, and then I applied for waiver, and then I got the mail regarding that I was only going to qualify for the waiver if I attend a particular session, which is this. Thank you so much. It's great news already that application fees has been waived. I want to know what assistance the school is going to give to us from the other parts of the world. I mean, coming over, because it's kind of difficult right now to get visa dates. Okay, so I've been hearing recently from my friends, even the ones I shared this particular school link to apply, they've been saying it's difficult to get visa dates right now at the US Embassy in Nigeria. So what kind of assistance can you offer?
So myself in particular and Ralph, that would not be our territory, but I am going to put a link in the chat, which is for the Office of International Students and Scholars at Tulane. And if you reach out to them, they should be able to pair you with a representative who can help you with the transition, get everything that you need. answer any questions.
All right. Okay. So I also asked another question.
So the platform for recently admitted students to meet and interact.
Yeah.
Like a social media type platform. We don't have anything like that. However, once you are enrolled in your courses, so when you're enrolled in your courses and they start showing up on your learning platform, which is Canvas, you can interact with students that way. So you can message your peers directly through that portal. There will probably be message boards for some of your courses just to, help people get introduced to each other, things like that. So we don't have anything for recently admitted students, but once you actually get enrolled in your courses and you have those courses appear on your learning platform, you'll definitely be able to engage with your peers.
Okay, the reason why I asked this question is because it's kind of very necessary to get to meet people from the same path that are also going to be enrolled at the Tulane University. I feel it's kind of going to be a suggestion that such kind of platform will be created so that we get to find out people that are coming maybe from Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria right now, and then I hope to resume school in August, September. Okay, so we get to know several persons that are also coming from this end. So it gives us a kind of assistantship somehow, to maybe you get to ask questions about certain procedures and other things that are involved.
Hey, Britt, I could respond to that. I'm back, by the way, my computer crashed. So many people messaging me. Yeah, so Brittany mentioned that while you're in your learning management system, there are ways for you to communicate with other students. The university also uses Microsoft Teams. So students can choose to communicate over Microsoft Teams, and including through the virtual desktop that we provide everybody, all students. So there are ways to break off into groups using technology that the university provides. If the folks you want to talk. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you so much, Ralph. Thank you. I want to ask something very, very, very important. Okay, so recently when I started my applications for MS in cybersecurity, I tried 3 schools. Okay, I tried, one of them is the Tulane University, and another one is the University of Denver. Okay, so you see certain reasons are the reasons why certain options rather are the reasons why we may, a prospective student may want to stick to a particular school, maybe for reasons around the benefits the school will offer, especially scholarships. Okay, are there partly funded scholarships that are open to international students? Okay, so because I need to know, so or is that going to be, and if there is that going to be contained in the admission letter upon give admission?
Yeah, Britt, did you share that link to the?
So there's a link. Oh, go ahead, Ralph. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Brittany shared a link where you can get more information on that, but we want to make sure we stick for this meeting. We want to make sure we stick to something at the level for everybody involved. We'd be happy to take this offline and work with you specifically. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
And I noticed that Victor had his hand up for a while. I want to make sure we get to Victor.
This is Victor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so.
Yeah, also Victor, I am putting in the chat as well, just one more link for you to look at. This is actually a helpful link for everyone. It is the link to financial aid at Tulane in general. So all of your financial aid questions will need to be directed to your assigned financial aid advisor once you are actually admitted.
All right, that's fine. Can I kindly get that from, what's it called? Can I kindly get that directly to my mail?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
Can I kindly get these links to my mail, directly to my mail?
If you click on them during the meeting, Victor, they'll open up browser windows and they'll be available once the meeting's over. Just click on them now and they'll open up browser windows for you.
Okay, sir.
Try it, and if you have an issue.
We've got Jamal also, who I am talking directly with, Ralph. Jamal was a previous student at Tulane and is curious about the courses that might carry over. So Jamal, I would say give one of us a shout. I'll put my email in the chat and I will start looking at the courses that you had completed. And at that point, if you need to be connected to the undergraduate advisor, I will make that connection. So go ahead and shoot me an email. My address is in the chat.
Yeah, so same here. And once you speak to Brittany, if you need anything else, just let me know. I put my email in the chat as well. We could work through with Jamal. We could work through it with you and take a look at what you've taken versus what you need.
All right. That's
All
fine.
right.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Did I miss any questions? All right, well, anything you didn't think of now, you've got our email addresses. If you want to shoot a question over, please do. And it's been great meeting with everybody today. I hope you guys got some information.
Thank you.